Okay, so just to recap, sound from 3 different sources. Sound you record live, sound like music, and sound effects. So live sound can be recorded with your phone. As I say, iPhones have something called voice memo, and you can just make a little, you can just talk into your phone and record it. I'm sure Android phones have something really similar. So that's great if you want to record your spoken voice or any actual sound effects around your house. Oh, I need the sound of like frying bacon or something. Just fry some bacon and record it with a voice memo. So anything like that, clashing pots and pans, the vacuum cleaner, whatever, can be artful sound effects and give a feeling to your thing. So record them and just get them onto your computer the way you'd get your pictures onto your computer. I know, oh, I'm recording something, stop. Um, with the iPhone, use AirDrop, but I'm sure you're pretty familiar now at this point of getting stuff onto your computer. So that's one thing. Music, you just need whatever music file you happen to have and want to use on your computer. And then thirdly, sound effects. My feeling is, and I always tell my sound students, if you can record the sound effect yourself, always record it yourself, that's best. But sometimes you need sound effects that just technically you can't record yourself. Like I need an airplane taking off, I need, sound of machine gun fire, a rocket exploding, and so on. And it's a bit tricky to do yourself. So I'm going to introduce you to a good and free sound effects library, and I'll just show you how to download momentarily. I'm going to put, the URL should be on our syllabus, but I'm going to put it into chat. Where is it? It's the BBC Sound Effects Library, which I've been using a lot myself for my own film, and it's free. The BBC radio, famous for many, many decades, has a vast library of really technically well recorded sound effects, and you can download them for free if you're using them non-commercially. So you should see BBC SFX acropolis.org.uk. It's in chat. It's a wonderful sound effects library. I'm going to share the screen with you, and you're going to suggest some sound effects for me to download. So let's go there right now. Here we are. Oh, don't do that. Here it is. And they're particularly good if you want any Second World War sound effects. I was particularly impressed that they had the V2 rockets. But can anybody suggest a sound effect that they'd like to hear? Just so I can have an example.
A cat meowing.
Okay, let's just try cat. No cats. We've got.
You might need to change the category for it.
I don't think so. This should just be anything. So here I just typed in animals. So we've got a lot of sheep, horse-drawn gun carriage, cattle, pigs, but didn't seem like cats came up with anything. Caterpillar.
The heck?
Not good with cats. You're going to have to record your own cats. Anybody, anything else?
Can you also find, let's say, sounds that are, well, sort of music, but not really music? Just
No,
like,
this is not good for musical-like sounds.
okay.
Sound effects libraries are not good for that. Then you really want to find music. But supposing I want glass. Let's see what, yeah. For example, I want glass shattered. That's something like you don't want to go around breaking your own windows. So I need shattering glass. And here we have quite a lot. And you can just listen to them, test them out, decide what you like. Here's some other ones. So you see that they can be quite different. Here's filling a glass of water. Sweeping up broken glass. Again, this is the kind of thing that you might not want to try at home, so a sound effect might be really good. Now I'm really curious that there were no cats. I wonder if there's dogs.
There's like hundreds of dogs. Dogs fighting, dogs growling, dogs barking. But
Yeah.
there's no
Here's
cats.
performing dogs with whistles.
They're prejudiced against cats.
Yeah, what is this? What is this? What other place to get sound effects, not this kind of sound effect, but what more musical? If you have GarageBand on your computer, there's all kinds of bundled sound effects like this, but also you can do like strange, sort of synthesizer effects and that sort of thing. So you might want to take a look at that.
There's also a site called, I think it's, I believe it's Epidemic Sound, for like generic musical stuff. Like, you won't find exact groups or stuff, but like when you want songs for like moods or like movie background kind of stuff, I think it's there. I think it's Epidemic Sound. I gotta look it up, but I use it sometimes too.
But think about music that you personally love and care about and is right for your story. You don't have to worry about copyright or anything like that. This is just for in-class movies. This is making me terribly nostalgic, this sound effect. Hampstead Heath, winter afternoon, with all these birds and distant dogs. This is where I spent my childhood Christmases, or Hanukkahs, we should say, where my grandparents lived. So it's good for background atmospheres. Here's dogs howling in Greenland.
Greenland, so specific.
Yeah, and not easy to get to. So if you need sounds of Greenland, it's a good place to come to. So when you like a sound effect, you just click download, agree to the terms, and it will download into your sound, into your downloads folder. So let me just get glass. A raucous party with smashing glass. Let's do that. This is a good one.
Sounds like they're getting into a fight at the party.
Yikes. That was a hell of a party. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put those into my stop motion folder, downloads, here they are. So this was party. It was good to label your sound effects. And I'm going to open up Premiere, and I'm going to show you how to import them. So just wait till this opens up, and then I will share my screen. Okay, so let me share the screen. Okay, so I'm in Premiere. This is what I was working on last week when I was showing you motion paths. And
I've got it.
we had a little musical thing happening here. So first of all, I want to import my sounds. I do that just like I import my pictures or anything else. I go to the project window down here. I make sure it's highlighted. I go File, Import, and I will, here is some sounds that I recorded. This was my voiceover memo, which is 2 pieces of music. And let me also import that sound effect. One of them. Import again. Let me find the other one. I called it Party. If I just double click on a sound, it will appear here in the source window and I can play it. And that's the Ruckus Party. And just like any clip here, I can make in and out points just to get the part I want. I think, where is, and again, my voice, this is a voice, remember?
This is a voice recording 10.
That was just came off my phone. So here, I might want to make an in point just before I start speaking. This is a picture here, it's called a waveform. This is a picture of the sound itself. So we can see that there's almost no sound here, and this is where I start speaking. So I'm going to hit the I button for in here to make an in point.
This is a 10. This is a voice recording 10.
And then when I finish speaking, I'll hit the O key on my keyboard, the O key for out. And now I've made a little clip from in to out of my sound. And I can edit it into my timeline. So here I have a timeline that I made last week with the motion paths animation. And the top part of the timeline is video. It says video 1 here, video 2 here, video 3 here, and so on. The lower part of the timeline is called A1, A2, A3, A4, etc. And that is the sound. A stands for audio. So I'm going to drag this down so I can see it more clearly. I'll be able to see the waveforms. You can just make these tracks bigger. Let's say I want to start the sound at the beginning. I just put my playhead at the beginning, and I can use either the overwrite button here. That's the easiest thing. If I want my voice to go on track audio 1, I make sure audio 1 goes to audio 1, and then I hit the overwrite button, and then it'll pop in right here at the beginning. Just drag my playhead back to the beginning, see it more clearly.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
And there I have my voice on audio 1. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Another way to do it, I'll just delete it. I can highlight it, delete it. Again, put the playhead back to the beginning. The sound will go wherever the playhead is. I can just drag audio only here, and I can just drag it into here.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
If it goes into the wrong place, remember, just like any clip, you can drag it around the timeline. So there I have my
This is
voice.
a test. This is
But I might not just want my voice. I might want my voice with music or something else. So here, I might want my voice. Let's drag this out so we can see it better.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
But I also want some music. So I happen to have some music here.
I hear about the action number. I think some people are putting that part 6, 81.
So again, here's my music, and I'm going to make an in point where I want it to come in. Remember, I can always change this. So I put the playhead where I want it to come in, hit the I button. And I'll just make an out point there. And this I want to drag below to audio 2. So I'm just going to drag it here, and it's on audio 2. Now I have 2 sounds at the same time.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
I need more picture for this. Yeah, I'll put this little guy here. But here I have,
This is a test.
remember, I can shorten this or lengthen it like any clip. I can just drag it on the timeline. And let me see if I've got some more clips I can put on here. That's not what I want. I'll put this on. Yep. I think it's working pretty well. Let me slow this down. Scale it. And we'll slow it down. Clip speed duration to 20%.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
And we'll have the music go all the way to the end. So then we're starting to get somewhere. Now, supposing we want to add our party sound on top of that. Wow. Let's make an out point there. And we can drag this down to audio 3. So, you know, you can really start to build up a nice, rich soundtrack. So maybe at this point here, we shall drag in our party sounds. And let's see what we've got here.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test. This is a
Now we might think the party sound is too loud. It's kind of drowning out the music. We may want to make some sounds louder and some sounds quieter. Now you notice here, but you have to first drag out the track so you can see it. The track's really up there, you can't. Do you notice a line going through each piece of sound? That line will raise and lower the sound level. So if we raise that up, the sound becomes louder. If we lower it, the sound becomes quieter. So let's just see it here. If I raise, play it.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
So if I want to make those little boings, that little claps louder, let's raise this up here.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
Did you hear that? It's louder. I'll put it up the whole way.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
But that's good. I like that part louder, but the next part is now deafeningly loud. Yikes. So there's a couple of different things we can do. So this line raises and lowers the sound, but we might not want the whole sound clip really loud or really quiet. We might want it loud at the beginning and then bring it down. Does that make sense? To do that, we're going to use the pen tool. I mean, one very simple way would just be, if we don't want to do that, we could just cut the clips into 2, like right here, using the razor blade tool. And then going back to the selection tool, I can make the second part of the music quieter.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
So we can make the clips into 2, or I'm just going to undo what I've done. I have to go edit, undo, edit, undo. So we have 1 clip again. What I find very useful is to use this pen tool here. The pen tool can make things gradually lower. They can fade the sound down, or gradually louder, making the sound go up. So it doesn't jump from loud to quiet, but it can fade in, fade out, and so on. So I find the pen tool super useful. So here, I'm going to use the pen tool on this track here. I'm going to make 1 point where I want it to start getting quieter, and another point where it ends getting quieter. And then I'm going to drag it down here.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
So the music doesn't, that's a bit too quiet. So I've changed the level of the music. And then I'm going to bring the whole level of this party sound down. And let's hear it.
This is a test. This is a voice recording test.
And so I'm balancing the different levels. Does that make sense? At the end, I could do something with a party sound, maybe bring it up. So if I wanted to do that, to end with a kind of shriek, I'll make a point here with a pen tool where I want it to start getting louder, and another point where I want to end getting louder. And I just bring the level up like that. So it kind of ends with a punch. Or you could fade it away. If I don't like what I did with a pen tool, I don't like the way I changed the level, you can always undo it. Either just go edit, undo in the edit menu, or if I hold down the option, if I select the pen tool and hold down the control key, I can just delete these points. Holding down the control key and clicking will delete the points that I made. So does anybody have any questions about this? Anything that they would want to try that I didn't cover?
Basically, when I did my audio, I went over to the effects section, and there's actually one of the audio, I think it's the audio transitions. They now have the fading in there.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and that's what they didn't have on the version of Photoshop that I had earlier in the year.
You mean the Premiere?
Yeah, a Premiere, sorry. A Premiere that I had earlier in the year. And the same thing with the video fade. They added the video fade in as an actual effect.
I swear that's been around for years.
It has, but the version, like I said, the version of Premiere that I had, you had to jump through so many hoops to be able to do it. Yeah, because you could do it like in Microsoft Movie Maker. It was a basic effect, but
I don't think so. I mean, well, I'm not going to argue with you. It's here now.
Yeah, it's here now. Unless maybe I didn't see it, but I could swear I had looked around for it. But yeah, when I was doing this video, I was like, oh wow, you can just pop in. It's not exactly a fade. It was something similar, but it worked very well as a fade in. I think it was like something.
So yes, you can do fade ins and fade outs at the beginning and end of clips.
Yeah.
Here under audio transition. The nice thing about using the pen tool is that you can do it in the middle of clips. You can bring things up and down. You can also like slow speed down, you know, just the way you can make video faster and slower. So you can make sound faster and slower. So I could slow my voice down. Shall I do that? So to do, if I want some goofy effect, I can highlight it here and go clip, speed duration, and I'll have it 75%. And my pitch of my voice will change.
This is a test. This is the voice recording.
So that was me slowed down, but also deeper.
This is a test. This is a voice recording.
I could also speed myself up. Sounds like a chipmunk.
This is a test. This is a voice recording.
So you can play around. I mean, there's plenty to do, but that's just a first taste of having layers of sound and being able to control the levels. Now, finally, the last thing I want to show you is how to export your clips. I think some people may know how to do this, but you should know how to export your movies. So when you've got the movie just the way you want it, goofy voice and all, your whole timeline is all ready. You love your movie. What am I doing? Shorten it on the timeline. So we can take a look at it. Okay, so here's a little movie. We want to export it as a finished film. So very important. We select the timeline. We go File, Export Media. File, Export Media. Does everybody see that? And then here, do you see this window that has export settings? Can you guys see that?
Yeah, we can see that.
Okay, good. Now what you want to do is I would simply choose the preset, which it'll probably default to, which is H.264. I think it will be the default one, H.264. That'll make an MP4, which is a reasonably small file size. Preset match source high bitrate. I would give it a name like, what am I going to call this? Stop. Function Zoe 1, because I might export it again. It should end in MP4. And I'm going to save that. So I've given it a name. Make sure export video and export audio are checked. And to make sure the movie comes out the right size, I would always check match source. You want the same size going out that you came in. So mine happens to be 1920 by 1080, which is a standard HD size. But it may depend on how you shot your movie. If you shot at a smaller size, because you're using a cell phone that produced a smaller movie, that's fine. Just make sure match source is checked. And then all you need to do, you should be able to see your movie here, is hit export and it will export. So I would choose format H.264. H.265 is also very good. Either of those, and hit export. And it exports a stand-alone movie, so people can watch it without having Premiere. Is that clear to people? Do people get that?
It's clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one question. Like, in case if you have a hard time, where can you find the recordings of the classes? I think it might be very helpful for my project.
Everything is on the syllabus. Every single thing we do is on the syllabus.
Okay.
Right? You should be always going back to the syllabus because there's lots of material there. There's lots of additional things that we haven't shown you. And, check the links out. It's all there.